Hey guys, Shadowz here, welcome back to another Gears of War video. Today we are going to be discussing the first of the new Gears comics set for release next year in 2018, being titled The Rise of RAAM. A few months ago now, it was announced by the Cursion studio that they are excited to be working with the IDW publishing crew to release a new series of Gears comics within 2018. However, at the time, there was no further information available on what the comics would be based upon except for tapping into the as of yet unexplored regions and stories of the Gears of War universe. Recently, however, though, it was revealed that the first comic within the new Gears series is going to be titled The Rise of RAAM, releasing on January 31st, 2018, acting out as a prequel to the games, showing the origin of the Locust boss himself, General RAAM, as he rose through the ranks to take leadership of the Locust Horde armies through just straight up intelligence, strength, and just pure ruthlessness. Now, while we know the comic is going to be just 32 pages long, which is pretty insane as that is going to be a crazy good amount of information to take in and read about, some previews of a few pages have been released early, allowing us to have a chance to see what we can actually expect from this brand new set of Gears of comics releasing next year. For the previews themselves, they share a new look on what the Locust as a species had to go through when they were trying to contain the Emulsion virus during what looks to be the Locust Lambent Civil War. Now, to my surprise, while this comic is obviously based upon the rise of the RAAM character, the Locust character Skorge is also making an appearance in there as well. As we can see within the first preview page, Skorge what looks to be meditating or chilling, I don't know, but of course has the Riftworm behind him, as Skorge was the only living being who was able to control the giant worms that lived within the hollow. At the bottom there though, we can see RAAM with his iconic like Troika-like turret with a few Locust drones as they prepare for the oncoming Lambent attack. Moving on to the next page though, as we get a nice view of what is the epic outlook of the Lambent forces as they move to take the high ground where RAAM and Skorge are. This page really goes to show just how much of a threat the Lambent forces were to the Locust species, and the whole reason why Emergence Day as an event had to take place at no matter what the cost was going to be at that current time in the universe. Next up though, we can see some of the Lambent forces have made it to the top of the hillside where Skorge and RAAM are, with a few drones just opening fire as what looks to be an early version of a Lambent Berserker coming from behind, just slices and dices a couple of the Locust drones as they are attempting to run away. We then finish up with the last preview page, which shows all of the Locusts within that little bit of an area all firing at this Lambent creature, including being able to see Skorge in his battle armor, which by the way, if you are noticing, yes, it's the same character model of Skorge that we just received in Gears 4. But to finish it off, RAAM just comes in clutch as he usually does with his very own serrated blade, with a stab right through the Lambent skull to finish it off. Seeing as how this is the Rise of RAAM, I would assume that these preview pages, as you just saw in the video, will most likely appear at the beginning of the comic, as it's going to be a story of just how RAAM became such a badass Locust villain, which of course includes taking on the Cog forces also, as teased by it on the front cover of the comic itself, as General RAAM at that time has a Cog gear soldier just by the neck hanging there after already stabbing him. Completely brutal, obviously in true RAAM fashion. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. Are you interested in the brand new Gears comic set for release next year, especially after seeing what the first comic, The Rise of RAAM, is going to include itself? For me personally, I know not everybody will be interested in the Gears comics themselves, as some people aren't really bothered about the whole Gears story to the point of wanting to know as much as possible about the universe. However, for someone like me, I'm just madly excited for these comics, as it's going to fill in a lot of the gaps within the Gears of War overall timeline so far from the beginning of time till now at the end of the Gears 4 game, answering just so many different questions a lot of us Gears fans have had for a while now over the last good 5-10 years. The Rise of RAAM comic looks to be shaping up to be a real good one though, seeing as how we are going to be, for the first time ever, having the chance to take a look into what it was going to be the Locust Lambent Civil War really was like, and just how much of a threat the Emulsion parasite was the Locust species and why Mira decided to invade the surface after, you know, Adam Phoenix's warnings time and time again. It's just going to be hype, that's all I can basically say. I'm just ready to see what the Gears comics add to the Gears universe as they release next year. So there you have it guys, previews and full details on the Rise of RAAM, a Gears of War comic, including Locust Lambent Civil War action, Skorge himself and more. Give the video a thumbs up and share if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.